Hello Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. I'm happy to have you guys. Bear with me, I'm getting over a cold, so my voice sounds just awful, but we're going to do this anyway. Alright, please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Take away only what resonates for you and release the rest. Please do trust your own intuition above all else, because you are accountable and responsible for all your actions and decisions. Now let's do a good shuffle. We are going to set the intention to get my Sagittarius gang out there some clear, helpful, and insightful messages wherever they are at on their spiritual path. All right, let's do it, Sag. Third time's the charm, Sag. I recorded two others, well, 1.5, and they were just not coming together. So this is going to be the one. I can feel it. Golden Girls Tarot. Here we go. What's coming up in the past? The Tower. What a way to start. All right, and how is that impacting them currently? The Page of Cups. Okay, so there's a breakthrough in communication of something or someone that you lost, or something or someone, they've been missing you, you've been missing them. There could be, or if it's not missing, it's an apology if you got into a little bit of a argument, or I don't know, if something trouble in paradise is what I'm trying to say. If some of you are in the process of moving and it's been a dry spell in terms of, well, let me rephrase that. If you're interested in moving or needing to relocate and it's been a dry spell in terms of finding a new residence or a new new city, new town, new location, whatever, new building, new apartment, there is going to be a breakthrough, and it may actually come through the form of a friend or a coworker. They may have heard something and share it with you, and it ends up being a cozy spot. Yeah, this is like a ridiculous thing that I don't really like saying, but I do feel it necessary to say here with the Five of Cups. And I can say it to a Sagittarius, it's like you kind of got to turn your frown upside down, and like I kind of cringe when I say that because I don't like that expression, but there's reason to. With the Page of Cups, something that you may quote unquote be crying over today, tomorrow you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't bad. Or something of the sort. I don't mean to diminish anything you're going through, because the Five of Cups always says be gentle with them, be sensitive, because ultimately someone is feeling hurt or wounded or really just lost, like disappointed, feeling like you don't necessarily have a pulse on what's to come, and it's maybe freaking you out. It may feel like a door closed and there's no window open yet. This is the window opening. This may actually be the door opening again too, if you get my metaphor there. So how is Sagittarius feeling, please? What are the emotions? All right, so you had to distance yourself from something. Or actually, you know what? This feels like something is coming to a close and you do have a bit of a heads up on it. This wouldn't be a total shocker. Because here's the thing, I think the shocking part maybe already arrived. This almost feels like a scenario where you almost got notice that a job position is closing out, or that they're doing something. I'm just giving this as an example. They're doing something different with your job position, and so it's like, you're going to finish out the month, and then you have like, you'll have a severance package. It's that type of like, there is something good that comes from this, but like the arrival of the news, at least initially, was a little bit shocking. So Eight of Cups is like, yeah, it's that contraction energy. It's like things are closing in, things are feeling a little bit tighter, especially in regards to our emotions, and something that we once found satisfying or enjoyable, right? Something that made us happy or felt really good no longer does. And that doesn't mean, it's negative or positive. It's just a truth of life that, things come in waves, there's cycles. And with the Eight of Cups, it's Saturn in Pisces. So it's like, yeah, the emotions that we once felt for something or someone, whether it's by choice or by default, we are forced to move on and look for something else, essentially. Yeah, some of you are walking away from like a home or an apartment that it's like you really loved. You loved living there. It could be that, they're selling, I don't know, maybe you were renting a home and now they're selling it and, you can't afford to do that. So it's like you might be feeling a little bit displaced. That's a good word here, but knowing you, Sagittarius, you are going to land on your feet. You're in that period of flux, probably Pisces season, if I had to guess. By default, that is a sign that squares Sagittarius. So it can be a little bit challenging. But if anyone can rise to the occasion, it's you. So what is this about? The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, so some of you are moving for a job, though. Or if it's not, that's not the case, but if you are moving, that seems to be a very, very big theme here. Yeah, and again, for a lot of my Sag risings, Pisces rules your fourth house of home. So yeah, maybe there's something in flux there. There may be issues with the home or contractual agreements that are not coming together or challenging. Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Because ultimately, the Nine of Pentacles says not only are you going to land on your feet, it's like you're going to be in a really good position. You're probably going to get a job that has a better wage or an apartment that has a better view, or you may have to look a little bit harder, but you're going to end up with a place or a residence that feels really nice, right? Some of you have a friend who's going to come through for you, particularly a female friend. They may know the area well. They may reach out to you. This could also be someone you connect with online, and you're able to maybe network. Maybe if it's job related, but for a lot of you, it feels like land and property stuff. All right. Sorry, it's getting very specific here. All right. What is Sagittarius's goals, plans, and ambitions? I mean, I think part of this is the Nine of Pentacles. You want to land on your feet and feel good again. Can I get one more on this tower? I just want a little bit of clarity. Like, is this a good tower? Is this a bad tower? Initially, it kind of looks like a scary one, but the thing is, it's the past, so I want to reiterate. I don't do fear-based readings anyway. I always want to say that. That's not my goal. That's not my moral code as a reader. But, shit happens, and you do sort of have something coming up here. Yeah, so, okay, something was closing out or blocked off, or something is naturally coming to an end where you feel like you're being put out, or it's like someone's made a decision to end some sort of contract. Maybe it's romantic, contract. I use that word loosely. And now it's like, well, shit, what do I do now? Because, you didn't want this to end, whatever it is. But you end up with something that it starts off as just like a seed of potential, or the idea of, oh, well, this could be good. All right, I guess I'll check it out. There's a little bit of apprehension. I'm almost getting Four of Cups, like, I really don't like this decision that's been made. I really don't like what's been happening, but okay, all right. I'm gonna put on a good face, and I'm gonna go out and look for a new job, look for a new apartment, whatever it is. Maybe it's look out for a new relationship. And yeah, the emotional part, you may be having trouble severing the tie there, because there's something maybe kind of sentimental or nostalgic about, this was my dream job, and when I got it 7 years ago, fill in the blank, or, this was my favorite place I've ever lived, and, I got my first dog here, and, whatever. There's something about, okay, there's endings and there's new beginnings, and I think it's almost like you're trying to empower yourself. It's like this is the start of a new chapter, and now that I don't have that job, I can live anywhere I want, and it's like you're trying to lean into the optimism and the fresh start, the new beginning. It's like the future is unwritten, so it's like you get to take the pen, Sag. Like, you're in the power position. You get to write this however you want. I would try and do your best to see it as an opportunity. And I know some of you aren't feeling that way with Eight of Cups and Five of Cups. Like, I get it. You guys are a little bit disappointed. You're a little bit disappointed. Goals, plans, and ambitions, though, is you want to rebuild from here. Some of you're going to have a lot more time to spend on your social life, your social events, your social calendar, potentially hanging out with family. Some of you are going to have an in-betweener living spot, either with a friend or a family member. I don't know why I'm getting this, but particularly an aunt figure, an aunt, I always say aunt, an aunt, whatever. Maybe even a cousin. Some of you are going to have more time to focus on your hobby and creative skills and talents, and some of you, it's like you're going to put more time into that and maybe even start to monetize it. Like, work from home opportunities might be there. Also, something in media or like, I'm getting like editing. Or I don't know, like content creation, video game, website design. Some of you, like, your Etsy's going to blow up from your little like creative things. And actually, that sounded rude the way I said it. I didn't mean like little, whatever. Some of you, it's like this is a gift in a way that you don't necessarily see coming, because a lot of you, it's actually steering you in the correct direction, but you were so tied to whatever this was. That's what the Tower does. Ultimately, it liberates us from not being able to see things clearly. So whatever this was, it is sort of your blind side. At least in the past, it's like you didn't understand why. It felt like punishment. You didn't understand why the universe was liberating you from something that you really liked and you really enjoyed. And I say the universe, I mean, there may have been a very specific person who liberated you from their life, from their, career, from whatever, But yeah, it's realigning you to what you're supposed to do. And a lot of you have a gift and a talent that is meant to be shared, but it might be a little bit atypical. It may go against the grain of what other people in your family or your friends group have typically done. And this might be your chance to kind of like strike out and do something different, because in very true Sagittarian energy, it's like you have nothing left to lose. And I'm not saying you're destitute. I'm not saying you're on the street. There's a period of flux here, particularly in Pisces season. And we have to remember Pisces is a mutable water sign. It's a mutable sign like you. So adaptability and flexibility are key, which typically Sagittarius can do those pretty well. Of course, you all have complicated charts, right, that I can't see. But yeah, try and lean into those skills of flexibility and adaptability, as I said. But also with Pisces, because it's water, we got to go with the flow. We got to go with the flow. In some ways, we have to kind of go where the streams lead, wherever the universe is kind of nudging us, because it's like fighting against the ocean when you're in Pisces season. You know, you can swim and swim and swim, or you can just kind of surrender. That's a very big word for Pisces. When you surrender, you get where you need to be, but it's not always where you envisioned it or or what you wanted, right? It's what you need. It's definitely what you need, but it's not always what you wanted. So yeah, there's an embracing and a surrender of like go with God, Sag, or whatever you believe in, right? Whatever your form of higher power is, that's none of my business. But like, yeah, it's like there's a releasing and really faith. That's sort of the ties that bind between Pisces and Sagittarius. They're signs that when they really lean into their faith, there's that higher vibration. Good things are coming. All right, so what is holding Sagittarius back, if anything? What is holding Sag back? You're coming up. It could be another Sagittarius. It's like you don't want to let it show that you're going through a difficult period as well. There's something here about not pride in a bad way, but the inability to ask for help because what will they think of me? A lot of you're not telling your family that you left a job or you got released from a project or, whatever it is. It's like it's like mum's the word. Because you don't want to disturb the people around you. You also don't want to psych them out so that they start psyching you out, especially for those who are exiting a relationship, or a relationship has ended naturally, organically, whatever happened. It's almost like your family started to really grow accustomed to you guys being together at all the holidays and this and that. And it's like, I know I have to tell them, but like, I can't tell them right now because they're going to be freaked out and their energy is going to freak me out. And like, I can't, like, you kind of have this, I got to keep on keeping on. So I get it. In some ways, it's like self-preservation. It's not to say that you're not dealing with the emotions, but rightfully so. It's like there's certain things that you have to prioritize right now, and sitting in sort of like the heaviness of, so-and-so broke up with me or whatever, this ended, fill in the blank. Healing is going to be part of this, but it's almost like you have to prioritize, like, the bare necessities, the absolute necessities of what you need to get by, food, shelter, clothing, that sort of thing. Again, I'm not saying you're completely displaced, but I do see something about a move transpiring because of whatever came crashing down here. And yeah, what needs to be let go essentially is you feeling like you're going at this alone, because there's a lot of people in this scenario, in this storyline, that are going to be able to come through and help you, because you mean a lot to them. People know that you have a strong work ethic and that you do really try and that you bring a lot to the table. But you don't always see yourself that way. And yeah, there's something about like humble pie, or it's like having to swallow your pride or swallow your ego and ask to borrow some money, or ask to, move in with a friend for a couple weeks until, your new apartment opens up. It's like there's a need to lean on other people for support. Bill Withers, lean on me. That's what I'm hearing right now. You're going to get through this, Sag. Okay, a lot of you too, this is not for everybody. There's a message here too that you may have been inflating the truth a little bit to your family and friends about how good things were going. Again, it was in a similar mentality of like, I don't want them to see the cracks in the walls, or I don't want them to see the vulnerabilities, or it's like this is very Sagittarian Jupiter energy. It's like wanting to project this energy of like the superhero, or everything is good, life is a blessing, optimistic. But at what point does that become like toxic positivity? And the reason I'm saying that is because you may have been suffering in silence somewhere. Not for all of you. Some of you really enjoyed this. Others of you, though, this was an avoidance of a relationship that you felt like it was kind of tapering off, or however you want to say it, teetering out. I don't know what the expression is. It didn't have the same steam and momentum to a point where you kind of knew maybe it wasn't fixable, maybe the feelings weren't reciprocated anymore, or life circumstance just happened. Something in a relationship changed, but you may have been projecting the idea that like everything's good, we're wonderful, like, you know, we're moving in together, we're talking about engagement, we're, you know, whatever it is. And that may not have been true. And so when it comes to like, I don't want to say announcing what happened, but more or less sharing it, you're very guarded. You're keeping it close to your chest because it's like you don't want to start the drama with people who are kind of in the fringes of this, because really is it their business? And I don't know, maybe some of you are at a point where you do need to express that, but yeah, it's like you're starting to understand that maybe sort of glossing over the things that actually weren't so great. For some of you, it kind of bit you in the butt a little bit, or you feel like you kind of have to come in and be very humble and sort of, yeah, the truth. The truth was, I'm hearing the word illusion. There was an illusion about what was actually going on, and maybe it was an illusion for you too. Maybe something really did blindside you because you believed that you were going to work it out this time, or you believed that your boss was going to give you a second chance, or whatever it is. So, yeah, there is kind of the idea of questioning your own self-worth because, so yeah, something transpired that wasn't great. But all right, so what is the action or advice? What will help Sagittarius move forward here? What is the action of the advice? Yeah, this is a brand new start. Again, like pen to paper. You have the pen in your hand. You know, you're the magician, essentially. The future is unwritten. We said that earlier. You have all the tools on your table. So the ability to manifest and start anew and create whatever it is that you want in this life, this is your opportunity. It's your opportunity to start fresh and do it a different way if you want, or, you know, do it a similar way. Possibly in a new location or with a new team, new people, new characters in your life. I'm not saying some of the people won't carry over. Of course they will. But yeah, there does seem to be an ending here. And so then you have the manifestation of a new beginning. And you get to do it your way. Again, entrepreneurial type stuff is coming through for you guys a lot, or a career that is more, I don't know if it's gig-based or independent, or you set your own schedule. Yeah. Yes, some of you are moving. You are moving. You're getting the hell out of Dodge. For some of you, that distance might be helpful to put some time and space and distance in between what feels a little bit sensitive and close to your heart. There's just a reality that things have changed, and so having to go past that office building every day, or having to see that person every day at work that you broke up with, like the universe is saying it's okay, like you can move away from this because it's not going to trigger you as bad. You get to start fresh and heal in your own time. I'm not saying that that's not going to be a very important part of the process. It is, but I don't know why I'm getting this. It's just like, there isn't time for you to sit on the couch crying anymore. Like, you've certainly done that a little bit, and that's fine. That's grieving. That's healthy. I don't think you can expect that, okay, I cried once, so I'm good, and now because it's not. Like, healing isn't linear. But you have other things you have to focus on, and like it's all about balance, right? You need to find some balance here, like work-life balance. Though some of you, like, you have this whole new chapter of like, okay, well, I don't have a job right now, so I guess it's like I got to keep myself busy and keep my vibe high. I think that's what it is. It's like you can't get stuck in the emotions. I'm getting like 5 of Cups, where it's like this total eclipse of the heart. It's very heavy. It's like, but we have to remember sometimes the 5 of Cups can be like this, crying over spilt milk, and that's sort of what this is. I'm not saying something bad didn't happen, but I am saying you find a solution quicker than you thought that is satisfying, that makes you happy. Hopes and dreams for Sagittarius. Hopes and dreams for Sagittarius. Yeah, moving towards your wish fulfillment, moving towards something that makes you very, very happy. Again, satisfying, nourishing, emotional self fulfillment, if that makes sense. Working on your self love. This is like getting your groove back too. Recognizing all the skills and talents and things that you offer to the world, and doing something positive. This feels like making a positive change in life, and that's very Sagittarian. Like spreading your Jupiter energy, right? Illuminating things, empowering people, inspiring them, getting them amped up and curious. It's like you're the preacher, right? It's like you stand at the podium and you give these invigorating speeches and people are like, yeah, like they're rallying behind you. So metaphorically, that's what I mean. It's like you bring so much lightness and joy and happiness to other people's lives. Make sure that some of that goes to you and yourself and your own life. But you got to get out there and do your thing that you were born to do, because it's like, think of all the people who benefit from you being here and doing that thing or saying that thing or just literally just showing up and being you. People love that. People love you, Sagittarius. So do your best to understand that just by showing up, you're bringing like beautiful blessings to the world around you. And so good things are going to come from this. You're setting yourself up for really good karma. Potential outcome is the Empress. Yeah, some of you are going to be in a much happier position, a more bountiful position. I'm hearing luxury, a luxury lifestyle. I don't know what that is, but yeah, some of you, there's going to be an upgrade in your love life, in your career. Again, the nourishment, sustenance, abundance. It's almost like you were building some sort of relationship on a platform or it wasn't on solid ground. It wasn't built upon stability. It may have been a very like rushed, quick and dirty, in and out, like, and now we're gonna get married. Like, it almost is like shotgun wedding vibes. And then, to your surprise, you're like, how could this not have lasted? The Empress comes through with stability. It's Taurian energy. So it's like, we got to do this right. It might be a little bit slow. It's going to take time, but my goodness, it'll be worth it. Some of you have a Taurus showing up in your life, or maybe a Libra. That could also be your boss. Or you may become your own boss, Sagittarius. All right, Healing Waters Oracle for Sag. The Gentle Force, consistency, persistence, patience, and the long game. There you go. That's that Taurian energy. Think long term. Think in the future. Zoom out, forest from the trees type energy. All right, and any Oracle card that wants to come out that would help guide this reading or help focus on the energy that we've been discussing here. Yeah, share your light, share your joy. You make people laugh. I know you do. Sagittarians are funny people. All right, Spark. Something to do with music. Music is going to be very healing for you at this time. Some of you may choose to learn a new instrument. Doing that thing that you're like, someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to learn how to do that. It seems like you may have the time to do it, so the universe is like, go for it. Because like that thing that you've been sensing, that's your intuition speaking to you. Like, how you think doing that is going to make you really happy, but you keep putting it on the back burner or, revisit it another day? Today is the day. Manifestation energy, it's like, I'm headed towards it now. And then you have making a choice. What should we read? I guess let's do making a choice. Empress, card 3 or 3-0. All right. You are required to come to a decision now. You're faced with a dilemma or a fork in the road and must make a conscious choice regarding the next right action. Whatever that choice is, you must take responsibility for it, yet you needn't be afraid. You may have all the answers right now. You may not have all the answers right now because the way ahead can't be known until you've embarked and traveled a few more steps. Trust your intuition. Ask for a sign from spirit and you will be led to the right path. If you remain conscious and aware, your choice will be the right one at this time. Life is all about learning. Success lies in choosing consciously, guided by your intuition and spirit. All right, well, there you go, Sag. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Thanks for joining me today. Please show me some love and like the video. If you want to leave a positive comment or even an emoji, that helps my readings find a greater audience on YouTube, and it helps my channel grow, so I would really appreciate it. You can leave a tip or a donation by hitting the thanks button. I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when I post my readings. And if you want more content from me, I am on Instagram and Facebook. I'm the Intuitive Teacup, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, Sagittarius.